Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Moniz, and I finally got to go hands-on with the LG G6 during a private event here in Toronto. This video is going to be about my first initial impressions and whether or not you should wait for the Galaxy S8. LG has completely ditched the modular design and gone back to the basics by creating a beautiful smartphone that looks great and feels great too. I wouldn't say the design is new, but it's pretty nonetheless. The biggest change is the screen. It's 5.7 inches, a step up from the traditional 5.5 with a resolution of 2880 by 1440. This is unique because most phones with a QHD display are only 2560. The aspect ratio has been changed from 16:9 to 18:9. So imagine holding a phone that feels longer instead of wide. Being 18:9 allows you to see much more of a web page or a document that you're working in. However, there are some downfalls to this. Some apps don't support it, like movies on Netflix only work at 16:9, which creates this black box around the video. Now, LG is hoping and encouraging developers to support its new aspect ratio. Speaking of Netflix, the G6 is the first phone to support Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10. So this means you'll be able to watch HDR supported content right on your smartphone. The edges have been rounded off and slightly curved in order to reinforce the inside so that if it drops, it's less likely to break. This is a good thing since the entire phone is made out of glass. The front is Gorilla Glass 3, the back is Gorilla Glass 5, and the glass around the camera is Gorilla Glass 4. Being all glass is a first for an LG smartphone, along with it being waterproof. It's rated IP68, so it can be submerged up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Now, a lot of the common stuff we see on most flagship phones is here too. So a micro SD card slot for more storage, a fingerprint sensor on the back, and a relatively good size 3300 milliamp battery. Just note that it's not removable, which is something that's usually present on LG's phones. But there's now wireless charging, and it supports both formats. The dual cameras on the back make a return, but instead of being different sizes, both lenses are 13 megapixels. The main shooter now has an aperture of f1.8, while the one that shoots wide does it at f2.4. LG's cameras are always solid, but of course, I'll know how good it is once I'm able to thoroughly test it out once I receive a review unit. The G6 is going to be the first non-pixel device to have Google Assistant baked in, but LG's UI still looks the same. It's more refined, but it still has the same cartoony look that you either love or hate. However, there are some cool tricks baked in that take advantage of the aspect ratio, like being able to see a full-size picture after it's taken beside the viewfinder as opposed to a small thumbnail. Unfortunately, the processor it's shipping with is last year's Snapdragon 821, the same processor that's in the Pixel and OnePlus 3T. It's no slouch and it runs fast, but it looks like Samsung has secured the first batch of 835s. Oh, and if you're expecting to get a quad DAC for better sound like the V20, it's only going to be available with the Korean model. So here's the bottom line. The G6 is a classy, refined phone with no gimmicks and a much better product than last year's G5. But with the Galaxy S8 being launched on March 29th, is it actually the better buy? Now, I think this depends on one thing, and that's the price. If both phones are priced the same, the Galaxy S8 will probably be the better buy, at least on paper. It has the faster processor, AMOLED display, and most likely thinner bezels. But if LG can undercut Samsung, the G6 will make a lot more sense. My suggestion is if you're looking to buy this phone, wait and see what Samsung offers first, then make your decision. So that wraps up my first initial impressions of the LG G6. Once I get my hands on a review unit, I will publish a more thorough review. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.